We'll try again. I did a video earlier that was like a half an hour long, and then I trailed off and like had nothing else I could think of, so I just hit stopped. And in hindsight, I wish I would have just wrapped it up and considered posting it anyway, but I did not. So here we are. And I just started another video, and then this little heathen started bellowing because she saw the neighbor weed eating. And yeah, it was a big bellow in my ear, got everybody all wound up. Not so good times, but yeah. I really hate to not do a video right now because it's like this is the last little bit before everybody gets back home, and yeah, then I have to readjust on, you know, like where I go. Like sometimes I'll do videos after skating or whatever else, but I won't have the freedom to just do it at the house whenever I want. I mean, theoretically I could, but then they'll ask questions, and that's what I don't want to deal with. So, don't know. There, okay. For some reason, my phone's looking really dark all at once. Yeah, so today I woke up at 7 and didn't really think much about it. Just, you know, got up, went to the bathroom. When I came back, I realized Eva was having one of her little episodes. So I think that's probably actually what woke me up, and I just didn't make the connection until I got back. But she has these, the vet just calls them neurological events, because I don't really know what else is going on. So it's something she's done for most of her life, and to be honest, like, she never had an episode that we saw until she was about 2 years old, and then she did it, and I called the vet, and they said that if it was a seizure, keep track of like anything she does throughout the seizure, how long it lasts, and how far apart they are. And they said that we'll figure out what to do next based on that information. Well, then she didn't do it again until 2020. And then it was the pandemic, and she in April started having one of these events, and it seemed to go on for a really long time, so we took her to the emergency vet. And of course, because pandemic, we couldn't go in with her, so we had to let them take her in, and then we stayed out in the car while they ran their tests and did all that stuff. And didn't really find anything that they were concerned about necessarily, and we didn't have any idea what triggered it or any of that stuff, so we took her home and we're just going to watch her, right? And then the next month, in May 2020, she did it again, but that time my parents took her to the emergency vet because I was at work. And before they did, my mom got a little bit of a video to see, you know, to see what she was actually doing. So then when they got to the emergency vet, they were able to show them that. And they said that it was not a seizure, but it looked like some kind of neurological event, but they really didn't, you know, there was not a whole lot that they figured out at that point in time either. But they said the next step would be to consult a neurologist. But then she didn't do it again. Well, she had like a couple instances where it seemed like it was something similar, but it's like, no, this isn't what that is. You know, she was much more aware. And then that round, we made the connection that she's apparently terrified of the air fryer and the noises it makes. So when my mom was using the air fryer, she would like shut down and just like start trembling. but it wasn't the same as the neurological event. She doesn't do it a whole lot, but she did it this morning. She's done it a couple other times that I know of since then. But, really the big thing we do is I sit on the floor with her and hold her and pet her while she's going through the whole thing. And then she's kind of a little clingy after that. And then once everything goes back to normal, then we carry on as normal. And that's how she woke me up today. So then, that's at like 7. Could have just got up at that point, but I was like, I've been really wiped out this week. So I was just like, yeah, I'm not ready to be up yet. But I found like some, chakra healing thing for dogs, and I was playing that. And Taz had gone into the other room because the other two, anytime Ziva does her thing, it's like they'll sit back while she's going through it, or they might come over and this one will lick her face. But then as she's coming out of it, they get really pushy, and like Taz was almost on her head. And, of course, I was sitting there with her head in my lap, and he's like all up in my business, and I ended up pushing him out the door on the other side of me, and he went and laid down on the couch after a while. But he was annoying me with that. So then I put this chakra healing thing on for dogs, and when I woke up, he was back in here, and like everybody was like sleeping good. And yeah, she's been fine ever since. So yeah, I kind of, honestly, I'm curious as to whether it might be something that happened when I fell and I got my TBI, because I was holding her, like she was under my arm when I was coming down the stairs, and I slipped on the step and busted my ass and broke my brain, which, yes, in and of itself is my brother, but my family enjoys that one. They call it my butt cushion, because I did not hit my head. I just hit the floor so hard that I cracked my teeth together, and that was what made me have the brain injury. So, I've talked about that several times on here before, but of course, as I was coming to, of course, everything's black and starry, and I remember just trying to process through what happened, how I hit, and then I was like, oh God, what's wrong with the dog? Because she was like under my arm, and like I was afraid of what might have happened to her. So honestly, I don't know that this isn't something that she didn't get in some way from when we fell and I had her under my arm. But yeah, of course we'll probably never know, but it's a question. So, but yeah, so after that today, I think we started moving a little before, probably about 11:15. And I have just been absolutely wiped out all day. And it's not really a new thing. Of course, I'm kind of stuffed up today because I did that yard work for the family friend the other day and was outside, and the dust and pollen and all that fun stuff for several hours. The big thing is, and I will probably do this today, usually I can talk myself out of getting like further sick when I go, like if I go skate after, like start feeling off, go skate. And then like I usually talk myself out of it. But I haven't skated yet. And of course it rained all day yesterday, so it's like just kind of sitting in my sinuses. Although I had a sore throat last night, and that's gone, so that's helpful. But yeah, I think that's part of why I'm so tired, is just because, like, I did a lot of yard work the other day, which was a little different from the normal routine. And so, yeah, that, and plus getting kind of stuffed up from it. Of course, that will wipe you out. But yeah, so I get up, get ready for my day, and when I was opening the curtains in the other rooms, because that's like my start point is opening the curtains in here, because I like my natural light. So open the curtains in here, then I go to the bird room, open the curtains in there, and then sometimes that'll happen. The bird room will happen before I get ready, sometimes after. But either way, then I go down to the living room and open the curtains in there. And there is a bird nest in the rose bush that is in front of the picture window, which in and of itself, no big deal. Hey, kind of cool. You can see the see the little egg. I noticed it in there a couple days ago. Took a picture and sent it to my brother, and then today it had an egg in it. And of course, I was opening the curtains and the bird flew out of the nest. I think it's a little sparrow. And it's like, well, that's not a real cool place for a bird to have her nest. Because, of course, she's building the nest out there, and it's probably quiet most of the time. But anytime the delivery driver of any sort comes through, Taz goes nuts. And, like, the hair on his shoulders and on his butt, like, stands straight up and kind of reminds me of a hyena when he does it. But he gets all wound up with that and just, like, pace the little love seat and going off the entire time. It's like, so the birds will be fine as long as we have no deliveries, and I guarantee we're going to have we have deliveries not quite every day, but pretty close to it sometimes. And yes, anytime he is in the space, that happens. In the space and aware of what's going on. Now, if he is in the office or even in the bedroom and can't necessarily see it, then sometimes he won't act up. But if he hears something off, then he'll go check it out, and then he usually freaks out until they're gone. So just imagine there's going to be little baby birds hatching in this nest, and then this wild heathen pacing and yelling at the door or at the window. So hopefully little babies will make it. If that whole situation goes, yeah. I figure I will focus on just opening the outside panels and putting the middle section closer together so the nest is still blocked from some of it. But if he's going off at a delivery driver, then he's going to go nuts either way. But hopefully that cuts back on some of it, but I don't know. But hopefully no baby birds have heart attacks because this wild beast is in the window going nuts. I suppose theoretically, if there's anything in it, we could just leave the window or the curtains shut more, but that's a whole hassle in of itself, because then we don't get the light in the house, and it only bothers me and the dogs, which we spend a lot of time outside anyway, but still. When I opened the curtains in here this morning, I found that my uncle was mowing my grandma's yard, and he went from, well, I couldn't see where it was at. I heard a mower. I figured it was probably him because the grass was awfully tall out there, and since my grandfather's gone, it's, my uncles and my dad kind of rotate through it, and my dad's been out of town. So, and the other uncle has a push mower. So, it's a lot of property for push mowing, but I mean, I'd do it. So, yeah. I think my grandma's house is on, like, wanted to say 3/4 of an acre, and then this side lot's a 1/2 acre. But I won't swear to that. I'm gonna pause real quick. So yeah, there's a lot to mow, but you know, my uncle has one of the 0-turn mowers, and I don't know if he's just using my grandpa's old mower because it's still out there, so it'd be a lot easier than loading his up and bringing it over on the trailer every time, but whatever. I know when my grandfather was in the hospital and my uncle was doing it that way with bringing his own mower over, but I don't know what he did today. But anyway, I took her outside so I could throw the thing that I'm not going to say because she's paying attention. No, I've annoyed her anyway. And she's going to go find me a thing because I said that. She got down, now she's sniffing and staring at me, so she'll probably yell at me soon. But anyway, we went out back and did that for a little bit, and as I was out there, I realized my uncle was in fact the one that was mowing over at my grandma's house. And I was like, well, shit, I need to pick up the sticks that were on the other side of the fence, because since we have there's a fire pit, since, you know, there's 3 properties attached to this one that's right next to us that's got nothing on it, but, you know, since it's a family space, we do a lot of bonfires and stuff over there. So since there's a fire pit, all the sticks that fall in our yard, I flip over the fence, and then at some point I'll go move them to the fire pit. And I've had a lot of wind and storms the past few weeks, so there's been quite a bunch that gotten flipped over the fence. One was like a big limb that fell out of a tree, and that was a hassle to get over the fence, but I got it over the fence. And yeah, no biggie. But that and the sticks that I didn't want Gidget to, you know, stab herself in the eye with as she's running through, I flipped a bunch of those over, and I hadn't taken the time to take them over to the fire pit because my grandpa's not out there mowing every 30 seconds like he used to do. Like, he didn't even hardly let the grass grow at all before he was out there mowing it again just to have something to do. And had the ground look kind of burn up there for a while too, because the way he was on it all the time. It's like, if we're not having rain, you're not really helping the grass. You're just, you know, yeah. Anyway, so I went and I was moving the sticks over to the pile. My other uncle was out with their dog also, and saw that I was picking up some sticks, so he went over there to help with the picking up the sticks, you know, because it was a decent pile that needed to be moved over there. But I stopped on the other side of the tree from where my pile was, because there were some others that had fallen down that were actually on the side lot that needed to be added, right? As I'm picking up the sticks, I barely missed it, but there was a snake laying in the grass. It was like 50 degrees. I don't think it was even that warm yet. I think it was like 47 or something when I last looked. It was like 47 with a real feel of 40 when I looked at the weather and was trying to figure out what to wear today. And then I see the snake laying in the grass. It's like, that's not an ideal spot to be, especially when my uncle's mowing, right? So, you know, we got all the sticks moved, and then I was trying to figure out what to do with the snake, and I got a stick that I hoped would be big enough to kind of collect it on, and then, of course, messing with it got the snake agitated, and I think had I known what kind of snake it was starting out, I probably would have just pulled my hand in the coat sleeve and, you know, grabbed it while it was still in its slow-mo mode. But when we started messing with it with a stick, then it woke up and was all concerned about its safety and whatnot. So I ended up I built it a little fort. I put some like fallen tree bark down around it and gave it or kind of on it a little bit, so it was kind of protected a little bit in case my uncle got over there before I had the chance to do anything else with it. And then I came back over and got like a pair of those like gripper things, and I was able to catch it and put it over on the burn pile. I was like, man, this is a whole hassle trying to wrangle this snake that, obviously he didn't want any part of being wrangled. He didn't want to be eaten or anything. And, when my uncle started messing with it, he started moving in the direction of our fence. It's like, no, don't do that. It's like, I really don't want the dogs to get it either. Especially at that time, I hadn't looked up to see what kind it was. So I didn't want to take any chances on it happening to be something venomous, even though those aren't really common around this area per se. But yeah, then I built it a fort and we both left it alone, and I went and got the little grabby things and came back and picked it up and put it over on the wood pile, and then it went and hid, and we were all happy. Did my little good deed of the day and saved the little snake from the lawnmower, and all is well. I did find out it is a garter snake. So, yeah, if I would have known that, I would have gone ahead and grabbed it, but I didn't know that ahead of time. So, didn't want to take any chance. But, yeah. So we did that, and then I went back and was playing ball in the backyard with the kid that just heard me say that and perked right up. Her eyes are like real wide now. She's trying to figure out what I'm doing. And she looked. Honey. Oh, she's got one, if you'll notice. Yeah, told you she knew I was talking about it. Even if I avoided all the words, I still said the thing. And she knows that is the mom version of trying not to say the word to get her all excited. I might, when I finish this video, try to record her reaction, because since I end my videos the exact same way, like, she's now waiting on that, and as soon as I say those words, she like gets all wound up. And it's not every single time, but she always perks up and is like ready to go do the next thing at that point. But yeah. So I found this thing. Oh, I brought it over here. I was on Instagram earlier and found this thing on this Moon Omens page. And when I saw it, it had 8,888 likes. And it says, everything could have gone completely south for you and you're still exactly where you need to be. Things have a way of falling into place when you least expect them to. If you feel this year is unfolding differently than you expected, that's the universe inviting you to adapt and glow. I'm still not sure. I think it's... I'm pretty sure I wrote an L. But it could also be a R. So adapt and glow or adapt and grow. I mean, either way kind of makes sense, I guess. But yeah, didn't really know what to go with it, where to go with it. So, but it was at 8,888 likes. So it was like, obviously this is important for me. So I wrote down the little thing that it said, and I took a screenshot of the number. Even though I try not to hang on to all those anymore. God, there was something else that came up on YouTube. Oh, I know what it was. So, I think his name's Anthony Vincent, that does a little, what is it he calls it? I'm thinking 5-second song, but I don't think it's quite that. I don't know. Something like that. Anyway, it was, what was the song? I don't even know what the song was this morning, but it was like the first thing I saw, and I really liked it. And I sent it to Ben and my brother. It was done. The song was done in the style of Slipknot. Oh, Lil Jon, Get Low. But when I saw that, it had like, there was 358 was a repeating number in it, and then something else had a 35. So it's like, is it the 35 that's the important part, or is the 8 included? But then 8 showed up elsewhere, so I mean, maybe it's just all important. But yeah. But I saw that song this morning and I was really excited by it because I really liked it. And it put me in a good mood. Yeah, I mentioned I was trying to do the video earlier, and I got to a point where it's like I just couldn't think of anything else to say, and I was just like, screw it. I hit stop. And had I ended it the normal way, then I would have probably gone ahead and posted it that way. But since I couldn't do that. So I decided to try again, since they will be back anytime this evening. When my uncle and I were out there messing with the sticks and the snake, my aunt sent him a message saying they had just crossed into Kentucky from Tennessee. So anytime. But that was like 12 o'clock or 12:30 or something. So I don't know when they'll be back, but it's somewhere real soon. So I figured we'd go ahead and try it again and try to get a video in, and then that'll be my last one with having to concern myself with when anybody will be home. Or with not having to concern myself about that. But then even then, sometimes still talking about it and obviously thinking about it to some degree, and I know they will be back at some point in the near future. But they took my aunt and my grandmother, so they'll have to go take them home first, so they'll probably drive around anyway. Actually, they'll probably cut through my grandma's yard. Let my aunt walk over to her house, and surely she can carry whatever she took there for the week. But yeah. I tried to lay down and take a nap for a little while, and it was not happening. It kind of felt like when you've had caffeine and then try to lay down, I was like, nope, brain's just not checking out. But I don't know when the last time, well, okay, my aunt got me a Dr. Pepper when I was helping her move my cousin, because she forgot I had stopped drinking it, and that was like the first caffeine I'd had in a long time. And I don't know, I might have had it one other time since then, but I don't think so. But yeah, it felt like I'd had caffeine. So I'm laying there, and my head just, now that I'm laying here, I took my contacts back out and earrings off, and the big ones anyway. More eclectic shelf funness. So yeah, because it goes nicely with the shirt. Another one of those mystical allure shirts that I love now. So it's like I took off the dangly things and took the contacts out and laid down, and it's like, nope, and we're awake. And then I started thinking about other stuff, and then I decided to go eat something. And then, of course, since I was trying to take a nap, I had, both windows open in here. One I have a fan in. I turned the fan on when I was trying to nap because I sleep hot. And I like having lots of fans and air moving around when I'm trying to sleep. Okay, my clock says it's 67 degrees in here right now. That, if it was the middle of the night, that would be perfect sleeping. But for whatever reason, I just couldn't do it. So I went, and they were happy with that because it was close to dinner time. So I went ahead and fed them, and then I went ahead and ate something. And got my stuff all back on, obviously. So I've been thinking about going over and skating here shortly, especially since I'm all stuffed up. I find that anytime I start feeling off like that, I can talk myself out of it if I go skate. Whether it's a mile or 10 miles, it's like it doesn't really matter as long as I skate and, set the intention that I'm not going to get sick. I can usually talk myself out of it. But it's like, I've just been so run down here lately. So then it's like, do I want to go skate and talk myself out of it? Yes, I do want to talk myself out of it. But then if I skate, I'm still going to be tired. Still going to kick my ass on that end. But I'll probably do it here in a little bit anyway. Just because, excuse me, because I haven't done it in a few days for one thing. I don't think I've skated at all it was either Sunday or Monday. Yeah, I was thinking last night, it's like that Monday seems like it was a lifetime ago. Of course, that was that thing I was looking forward to. And then the day, like, going into, like, the thing itself, I hit a point where I was like, now I just kind of wish it was over before I got to it because, like, just the anxiety building around it. And then it's like, and the stupid thing is, the anxiety wouldn't have been an issue until I had, like, the brain fart and inserted the random anxiety into the whole thing, and then changed the whole atmosphere of it anyway. But it's like I was in a great mood and everything was going smoothly, and then there's this little glitch and I thought something wasn't going to work right and was panicking because I couldn't figure out how to fix the setting to make it work, but then it ended up not being a thing that I even needed to worry about because it was already fine. But just the way the app was talking about the microphone, I was freaking out thinking it wasn't going to work. It's like, if I had had the opportunity to regroup, maybe go listen to Do the Bartman again, because I'm finding that is one that is really helpful for kind of deleting the anxiety. And I think just because it feels so silly, and it's like from this cartoon that I used to love, and I don't even remember what season that song was in, but like that song though. And I don't know that I've watched that show since undergrad. And even then I didn't watch it a bunch then. The thing I remember about watching The Simpsons when I was in undergrad was, it was my freshman year, and my roommate was, I think, with her boyfriend that evening, and we were on the bottom floor of our dorm. And, of course we have the, what's it called? A little grassy area in between the halls, right outside the window, but, on this building, it had like, how to even explain it? There's a robin watching me now. Not watching me now, she's drinking. But okay, so it had this the courtyard, that's the word. Like I think there might have been a couple tables out there, but it wasn't somewhere people went a lot to hang out. And it was like, okay, like this. So there were walls on 3 sides, and then it was open on the one side, and you could go out to the parking lot, right? So, but on those 3 sides, there's, of course, windows all facing each other. So, like 3 walls with windows from all the 4 levels of dorm rooms that are right attached to this courtyard. And I had the curtains open, and the desk in that room, it had like a table that was built or screwed into the into the windowsill, and it had a file cabinet under either side of it. And so we both had a desk, but we were sharing the table space of it. If in the time that we had, that was what we were using as our desks. So I'm sitting there one night and I have The Simpsons on, and it's getting dark in there, and I didn't bother turning any lights on because I like the dark, and I had the light of the TV and my computer monitor, and my roommate came in and was commenting on how dark it was. It's like, well, if I turn any of the lights on, then I got to shut this curtain, and I wasn't really ready to, or I wasn't in the mood to get up to shut the curtain, and so I just kind of left it. But yeah, I remember, I remember watching The Simpsons, but I don't remember what was happening on it or anything. And it was just, more of the atmosphere. I liked that it was getting dark, but also didn't want people seeing more than they already could, but I didn't want to get up to shut the window or the curtain, so yeah. I don't remember if, I think that was probably, I don't remember if we took the table down and had different desks at any point. I know I had a loft, and basically I like little hidey holes. Saw this crab, man. These damn cancer placements. I like the little, to be like blocked off from things, and in the back corner, like if I'm going to a restaurant with somebody, I prefer being in the space where there's like a wall and I'm like in the corner, right? And although that's only one time that I can actively recall that it didn't work out for me, and that was because there was there were two steps like on the other side of this wall, right? And the girl had put a pitcher of water up or like some cups of water or something, on this little half wall thing. It was my ex and I were at this place in Florida, and accidentally bumped a glass of ice water, and it just poured right down my back, and it was so fucking cold. And of course, like, of all the people in the place, I was probably the best one it could have happened to, because I was just like, yeah, whatever, shit happens. And of course I ended up getting a free shirt out of it, and the manager was pissed at the waitress for having done it, but I was like, shit happens. If my ex wouldn't have been there, I probably would have given her like a substantial tip, but he was the one that, he had the card and was paying for it at that point in time. So I don't know if he did or didn't, but yeah, I would have probably left her a better tip. What? Thanks for the shower, but hey, don't let it ruin your day or whatever. But yeah, like, he was all set to try to be pissed off about it, and I was just like, shit happens, man. And yeah. Oh, Robin's still out there. This is kind of cool. Let's see if I can. Yeah. My little view here. Probably get the morning glory out of the waterfall, but yeah, well. It is what it is. What are you going to do about it? He probably senses that somebody's watching him. So yeah, that's kind of fun out my window. Oh, back to the water. Hey, I've already gone longer than I did it on the last time I tried the video. I'm going to pause it for a second, though. Okay, so the other day, my Wednesday night class, I always have my bag of rocks, right? and the little meshy bags keep getting holes in them. So I decided to get an actual bag, and I was all excited, and then the first thing I did was accidentally pull this whole damn string all the way through when I was putting my rock bags in it. So I was like, well, that sucks. But now the little string keeps popping out of my pocket. It's like, well, that's even more annoying than... I mean, it's not more annoying than losing the rocks, because I don't want to have paid for them. I don't want to lose them. But yeah. So my little bag that I went out of my way to get, and then I kind of goofed up the thing on. Yeah. I think I mentioned yesterday that my brother and I were talking about how atmospherically this town feels better since our family's been out of it, right? You know, like my parents and their negativity, and my grandma, of course, and hers. My aunt's not really bad unless she's spent too much time with my mom and my grandma, and you know, she spends a lot of time with my mom and my grandma. But you know, like in the times she goes with me to walk the dogs, we get along great. We have no issues whatsoever. But it's like, you know, put her with my mom too long, and I mean, that'll do it. You know, it's like, just since they've been gone, the town feels different. It's like everything is lighter, just energetically. And it's kind of a weird feeling. Kind of disappointing that they're coming back today. But, I mean, they can't stay gone forever, I imagine. Or I guess. But, I mean, although my grandma is pretty tight with that sister. So, I mean, she could just hang out. But they're not going to. So, wishful thinking. But, yeah, what's the point? Because they're not going to do it. But, yeah. It's been a nice week. I did not get my bathroom painted. You know, I've thought about that a couple times today. I still might do that before the day's over. I don't know. Probably not, because all that yard work that I did the other day, it's like, okay, it was Thursday. Today's Saturday. My butt and my thighs are killing me. Like, still, because there was so much, like, oh, like just bending over, and then I kept getting kind of lightheaded at times because I didn't eat enough going into it. But then it's like anytime I kneel down, it's like, well, might as well just put my ass on the ground. So yeah, it's like I would do that, but then I have to get back up, so then it's just like all the up and down. It's like I feel like I've done like 1,000 squats or something. My butt is very sore, which is another point on the not being highly motivated to go skate, because my ass hurts. But I know it would feel better. This would feel better. So I might suck it up and do it here shortly anyway. It's like almost 5. But, yeah. I don't know. Like, the painting is something that I want to do, but it's not like it's hurting anything to not paint it. And if I move out before it gets painted, it's also not going to hurt anything. And they're going to be painting it once I get moved out of here. They're going to paint it anyway, because I know they're not going to be happy with the way I've painted in here, right? And like right now, they don't care because I'm in here. But if they were trying to use this room for something else, then they might not want it. Because me and my chaos, right? Yeah. 30%. Okay. I kind of don't want my arm up on this thing anymore. At least, okay, not at that angle, so maybe this is a better angle. I've not been near as productive around here as I would have liked to have been. Which, I mean, that's, like I've said many times, I'm not dealing with their shit anymore. It would be my shit. But even then, you know, if nothing else tonight, maybe I will get the scrapbooking shit posted. Because I have a ton of, like, the pretty paper and all those things that, you know, are useful to have if you're into the scrapbooking thing. And I started it for a little bit, but then I kind of pooped out on it, and honestly, I just don't know that I care about it anymore. You know, and I've thought about like printing off a bunch of pictures of, like, the ones that I took, like my bear and my tigress and, you know, my elephants over there, and, like, going back through, like, other stuff that I have, you know, even scrapbooking crazy kids, right? Yes, hi. Love this kid. Oh, she's so good. She's so good. Thank you. She's getting restless. She's got a dirty face. We need to give her a bath at some point. She don't want to talk about that. Not right now. Take a break. Not right now. She's like, go back to giving me attention, and then I can talk you into doing the thing that I want to do. Because life is the B word. ALL, by the way. But I really don't want to do that right this second. Mainly because it's just going in the other room, and, well, I'll have to pause the thing, but then by the time I get back to the thing, they'll probably be back, or they could potentially be back. But anyway, back to the previous point. I need to get the scrapbooking stuff posted. Maybe I can get some money out of it. Because I have, like, I want to say 5 or 6 scrapbook things, like albums, that I got on, it was like on sale or something, but I bought a bunch of stuff when I was into the thing, and then I stopped doing the thing, and it's like, yeah. And honestly, there's a lot of, like, the stuff from the band days, like, I don't even know that I'll hang on to it even. Although I am suddenly interested in the possibility of finding any pictures of Ben from from when I was from the band days, right? Because he was 2 years older than me, so, or is 2 years older than me, so I probably have some pictures of him somewhere. That'd be fun. So yeah, might have to, if I find them, you can be damn sure I will take pictures of them and send them to him. Not yet, ZB. Not yet. She's all perked up, staring down the hallway. Oh, they hear the neighbor. Daisy's woofing. Nope. No. Damn it. We gave in and came outside. Throw the stand ball and hopefully not have to fight Taz on stealing it, because he's a thief. He has this thing where he likes to attack the stick while I'm trying to catch the ball. It's actually really handy when he does it when it's a new stick, because it loosens it up enough so it releases the ball easier. But then we get to a certain point where it doesn't hold the ball anymore. So this one is starting to get a bit loose. The other one, he has not tugged on enough, because I haven't played with it very much. But yeah, it feels amazing out here. Although it would be warmer or nicer if I was a little more in the sun. But here we are. Taz, no. Stop. Dog's an asshat when he wants to be. Oh. My uncle got the stuff from my brother. Their picnic table was shit, so they took it apart, and it's, everybody says it's treated wood because it's a picnic table. It's like, well, it hadn't been treated in 30 years that it's been out on the back porch, so it's kind of shot, and it is now in the burn pile, regardless of that point, because it never got redone. So yeah, they got this the little benches that my brother and his wife had gotten on their back porch. Because, of course, my brother's still staying at the house for limited time. But Taz! But, you know, they're trying to sell off as much as possible. Flipped a stick over there and it landed like a foot away from him, but he was too busy sniffing other stuff and yelling at me. He wasn't paying attention. Otherwise he would have picked it up and chomped it. Yeah. The fuck, had a I got a flyby with the bug. Yeah. Yeah, my sister-in-law is in Oklahoma now. And my brother had to get everything cleared up for a showing on the house yesterday. So, you know, so he was out of the house. But he said he realized when he was leaving the house that he forgot to put the dog bowls up. I said, is that really a problem? I said, most people like pets. He said, yeah, but it's supposed to look like it's not been lived in. It's like, well, I mean, they're just gonna have to deal with it. So it's like, shit happens. If you got everything else handled, then shit happens, right? So yeah, this grass needs mowed in a bad way. But I ain't doing it, because if I do it, then it becomes my job, and I don't want that job. You know, that's one of the few that my dad does, so he's keeping that one. Yeah. Net? The neighbor caught me outside the other day. Stop! And said that their back gate had been open a few days ago and they hadn't thought anything about it until he was doing yard work and went in and, you know, went to get his weed eater out of the shed, and the weed eater and the pellet gun were missing. It's like, cool. That's not something we've had to worry about in this area, but he said he didn't think anything about it. The fence being open, you know, because they go out that way a bunch. But he commented to his wife that they need to make, you know, they have kids, they need to make sure to shut the gate. And she said, I didn't go out there. You know, and then he said he didn't think anything more of it until he went to here. He was doing yard work and discovered his stuff was missing. It's like, well, that is shitty. But there didn't used to be a neighborhood back there, but there is now. So, yeah, which is nice to have a pond behind the house that didn't used to be there because it used to be a cornfield. But yeah, it kind of sucks that people go back there. You know, and some of the neighbors, they had the option to pay in on the pond and, you know, basically pay so to have the property to the pond be theirs, but then they also get, I think, some sort of, well, if something happens and somebody drowns in the pond or whatever, you know, that kind of affects everybody. And my parents and grandparents didn't want any part of that, so we did not do that. But I'm going to pause real quick. But anyway, yeah, there's a few of the properties over there that have fences all the way to the pond, so people can't go walking through their property. So it's like, I mean, that on that end, it would be kind of nice to have that, because then we wouldn't have everybody back there. But I mean, who's gonna police it to that point? You can get up here on your own. I'm not doing that for you. Yeah. There was a really cute little bird out there. I forget what kind. There's a little... Oh, there he went. He was in the water. I got this goon over here. Hey, 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 Tess. He's gonna see if he doesn't fly away. Right there. That guy. Super cute. Got his bath in. Feeling all good now. Just probably put mine in the tub. Buddha and Bodhi would like baths. Probably more than they get. But they get them periodically. Usually whenever I'm doing a deep clean of the cage. And that needs to happen this week. Possibly Monday because it's supposed to be like 79. And we're leaving the house open for right now because it's amazing at night. You know, when we have the air conditioning on half the time, I still wake up sweaty. So as long as we can enjoy the 56 degrees at night and, you know, even 45 is okay. And, you know, have nice temperatures in here to sleep in. Turn the fireplace out or in the other room. There we go. Because it was really cold in there earlier, and it's like I still got my windows open, and I should probably shut that down. You know, shut this one down and turn the fans off because I wasn't sleeping. So yeah, but when I just went back in there, it's like, it's really freaking hot in here. It claims it's only 70, but I don't really buy that. Because it feels a lot warmer. Because I turned it on and then left the room and forgot all about it. Which isn't a problem or anything. It just means it's warmer in there. All the windows are shut in there, so it's not like we're just heating outside. But it's alright. I'm really just kind of not feeling in the skating mood today, honestly. And might be better suited to spend some time going through some of these boxes in here and maybe getting rid of a box or two. But a lot of it's clothes. I kind of like how I have the closet right now, because I can use the little rod on the lower side. One side's got like probably 2 totes stacked up. And it still has clothes over top of it, like dress clothes and stuff. And the other side, I have sweatshirts right now, and that's actually a good spot for those. But then I still have all these totes that are going to have to go somewhere too, so I don't know. Theoretically, the seasonals, or like the fall or like the Halloween and Christmas stuff, could go to the shed easily enough. But I don't know. Yeah. Knock it off, dude. I want to talk about it. I don't know what his deal is, other than he hasn't been walked in a few days. That is something we could do, is just walk around a few laps around the side lot. Hush! I can't believe I'm talking to him that way. Tossed this toy down and just looked at me like, why did you take that down? Come on. You can get up here. I guess we're done. I have books that automatically renewed for the library, and there's one called Roar Like a Goddess. I'll have to put the author's name in the description because I don't have any idea how to approach that one. But Ah, see, he's up. Gets motivated enough, I'll figure it out. No. But yeah. They renewed, so I have them until the 12th now. But it's like I really want to read this book, but also when I have time to read the book, it's like I get really not motivated to read. Like I also stop. Oh. Oh, cool. Yeah. We're just hanging out here. I think he wants this spot, to be honest. Oh, weirdos. Here, you want this spot? Oh, my weirdos. If I don't knock over the moonstone tree. This book. Yeah. I have no idea how to say that name. So I will just spare you. But yeah, no. Look at this. Whoops. Zoom out. Okay. That is her perch. Preferred when I'm not also there, but she will take it if I am there. What are you doing? What are you doing? Lay down. Oh boy. Yeah, I need to do something though. I just don't know what I want to do. I feel slimy. Yeah, of course, one of the go-tos would be, my usual evening process is do the video, then go watch the video, and then, take notes on what I need to mention in the description. But I want to do that right now either. I kind of just want to veg. So, that's something that I struggle with, is really feeling okay about taking the time to chill when needed. It's like, but there's all these other things that I need to do. It's like, yeah, but do they all have to, why do they have to happen right this second? It's like, if you're tired, you can be tired and go rest and then maybe have the energy for it. More energy if you don't let yourself get completely depleted and, all the way wiped out. Like if I end up getting sick, then that's not going to be helpful. But if I don't take the time to chill a little bit, then that automatically sets me up to be more likely to get sick. It goes back to that. If you don't take the time to rest then, or when you need it, then, the universe can slow you down with something much bigger that will make you not be able to do the things that you want to do. Yeah. I think Taz might have gone outside. He's got a dog door. He can come and go as he pleases, really. It's like he has so much talking that he has to do during the day. Cool. And no place. Zibby. Big trucks on the one-way road out there. Yeah. So he has so much talking he has to do during a day. And so, he'll start barking at me in the morning. It's like, what? Do something to entertain him for a little bit. And then at some point, he's going to start doing it again. It's like, here we go again. Yeah, well, I doubled the length on this one from where I was, and I don't think I really talked about anything exciting at all in this one, so probably could have skipped it, but yeah, didn't want to do that either. It's just, I really just don't like wasting the time that I have if I know it's short-lived, right? He's not outside. And they're not back, so they're just annoying me. I think we're at the point where they know they're coming back, and they're just going to bark every little bit until they get back. I've shown them, well, so far I just showed them once today that they're not here. It was like on the way outside a few minutes ago. But yeah. He's like, I hate not taking advantage of the time while I have the time. But yeah. Tomorrow I'm supposed to help the family friend situation again. I was looking at my mess down there. I think I'm going to go get off of here so I can spend some time working over there. If nothing else, my plants would like to be reorganized. Says me, not they, but like there's a jar over there that doesn't have anything. It had a little tiny something in it. Now it's like mossy shit that the other thing died off. So, and then my carnivorous plants need some more water in there. But I mean, it's not dry because it's in a container, like a sealed container. But it just needs a little more water in it. It's still, it's got condensation all around the sides from the fact that, you know, it's over there basking in the sun throughout the day. Although the fan situation in the window does kind of block some of that. I don't know. I don't know if I want to change it. I know that these plants over here, I at least need to to dust the dresser. But yeah, here you go. Check out that cuteness. Whoops. Zoom right in on her butt. Hi. Tasman. Zibbly dee. He likes that a lot more than she does. Although she will never intentionally go cuddle the other dogs, but I think she kind of likes it when they do, like, come over and land next to her. Like, he's the one that does it the most. Gidget only does it when she's scared or like a storm or something. But anyway, this is getting annoying. So, hey! No! So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. And stop. Whoops. Sorry. Because they will be back shortly. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up before they do actually show up. Yeah. As always, I appreciate you. Until the next time. See ya.